Hello, everybody. My name is Gino.
America.
Robert.
Ricardo.
Welcome to In Out Delete. If you're new to the show, we use the rating system of In Out Delete.
Am I supposed to say something?
Yeah, you're supposed to say something.
Sure. In if you like the movie, you recommend it. Out if it's like whatever, and delete if it's horrible and you wouldn't recommend it.
Like this imitation of Gio.
I was hoping you guys would catch on to that. It was pretty good, right?
I heard it. I thought it was good. Yeah, I'll give that an in.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I was just playing.
And if you're ready, do you guys have a baby review?
I have a baby review.
Baby review.
Baby review.
All right, so I do have a baby review.
Baby review.
Baby review.
In all seriousness, I went to see West Side Story.
I refuse.
Obviously, this is a remake of the 60s version that was based on a stage play. You guys know what it's about. It's Romeo and Juliet, right? With Puerto Ricans. I'm going to talk about the movie first in a pure filmmaking standpoint. Right? Okay. And then after, I'm going to tell you what I was thinking while I was watching it.
Oh, wait. No, we can't do this. I was going to say, do you want to guess? Do you want to guess what he thinks?
No, let me just tell you.
Right.
On a pure filmmaking standpoint, I'm an in. I love the original West Side Story. To me, it's always been my favorite musical. It was literally the first one I saw.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I remember I used to take, because like when you're in junior high, like you had to do an art or music class, right?
Yeah.
But I couldn't do shit. So I had to take music history, right, to fulfill that requirement, right? Where I didn't actually have to do anything, right? And all our teacher did was show us movies. And one of the first ones he shows us was West Side Story, and I just fell in love with it. So I've always loved the music. I've always and when they announced that Steven Spielberg was remaking it, I was like, is he the right choice? I was like, I love Steven Spielberg. If I had to pick a favorite filmmaker, it would probably be him. But I was like, him doing a musical? It's not gonna work, I don't know. I was skeptical. It's not Clint going Eastwood, in. Right? He did do a musical. He did Jersey Boys.
That's why.
Which is really good. So anyways, I went in skeptical, right? And I gotta say, I think he pulled it off.
Oh, really?
The way the way he shoots things, it's just so magical watching. Yeah. It's like you're watching a movie, It's like we see so much shit where it's shot so poorly, you can't see anything, it's horrible editing, and just the way he composes shots, it's like in the musical numbers of the music that I already love, seeing it in a new light, I was like, wow, like that's fucking awesome, And like I know the story like so well. Like I know exactly what's gonna happen, right? And during the big rumble scene, I know it's gonna happen. I've seen it a million times. The way he shot it, the way he composed it, like something happened, and I actually gasped in the theater. I was like, that's the power of his directing, right? And talk about the cast though. I'll talk about the standouts. The guy, the girl who played Anita, she was really good, and the guy who played Bernardo were really good. The girl who played Maria. Mm-hmm. The lead, she was pretty good. She had a really good singing voice, but the person who was miscast was Ansel Elgort. Okay,
baby.
Yeah,
it's time to take out the trash.
Oh my god.
Let's set aside the fact that he raped the 17-year-old. Right? I'm not trying to make light of it.
Okay, take that out.
Okay, let's pretend that didn't happen.
Yeah.
Right. Let's live in that universe.
Yeah.
Right. But he did. He raped the 17-year-old. He's horribly miscast.
Really?
He really is.
He can't sing?
He's not. It's not that he can't sing. Is that most of the other singers come from stage? They come from Broadway. So
wow,
they're in a class of their own. It's like it's like us trying to go up against like a real major league pitcher. We can't fucking hit. Yeah. And just seeing them like when they're doing duets, it's like, bro, no.
Really?
And just like the changes to his character, it's just like in the original, the guy playing Tony. He's like a really wide-eyed, kind of like naive romantic. He's like, I want to fall in love, like blah, blah, blah. And this one, he just seemed kind of flat. He's like, who is this person? He doesn't really have like a personality almost.
Shit.
So that makes the chemistry between Maria and Tony basically non-existent in my eyes. Like,
and that's the main
and
part.
That's the movie, right?
Yeah.
That's literally the movie.
What the
so
fuck?
That to me, like his miscast was the biggest issue to me.
Mm.
You know, but everything else is so strong that I was like, okay, literally, like, they're carrying the movie for him, you know?
Yeah.
And he was so bad that when he sings his like big song, Maria, like I just met a girl named Maria, I was like, I need to take a piss. So I left because I know the song, right? I was like, I can skip this song, you know, like on Spotify, like skip, boop, you know, and it just came back when it was over. And they did change some things, you know, they moved some songs around, they added stuff, they added more development to some characters that I thought worked. Most of the changes worked, right? But now I'm going to talk about the other thing that I felt watching the movie. So they added some stuff to the story. And some of the things they added was like this whole thing about like gentrification. Because of course you can't have a movie about Latin people and not mention gentrification. So I was like,
I'm exploding inside.
and I saw and I saw something in the press about like Spielberg was talking about like he's like it took 5 years to develop this script. And I was like, dude, it took 5 years to copy and paste a script that was already made and just sprinkle gentrification on it, you know, just because like it is what people talk about, you know, these days. Like that is what took 5 years. And to me, that says like, and his whole thing was like, he's like, I'm gonna cast all Puerto Ricans, right? And the Puerto Ricans role, because the original had like brown facing. There was a lot of white actors playing Puerto Ricans. So that to me, okay, that's cool. You know, obviously I'm all for that. But in the back of my head, I was like, it's kind of like, I don't know what the word is. It's kind of insulting almost, like when you do that stuff. Him and the writer is like you're white dudes, you know? This is like, in my head, I was like, okay, you're adding that stuff and you're just mentioning it. They don't fucking talk about it as like, they don't deep dive into it. They don't actually look at it as an issue, right? They just mention it, right? And they do it because it's trendy, you know?
Yeah.
And to me, that, so and that goes even further. You're casting everybody as you should, right? If we're Puerto Ricans, you're casting Puerto Rican actors. You're doing that because it's trendy. If Steven Spielberg, I mean, and this might be unfair, and I might be kind of cynical here. If Steven Spielberg would have made this movie in like, let's say the 80s, because he's always wanted to remake it, he would have done the same shit. He would have cast like fucking Tom Hanks as Bernardo, you know?
For
sure.
So it's like you're doing it now and it's easy. Like, where were you 30 years ago?
I think
What's stopping you?
It's still the same problem because you're still only seeing brown people as a concept. You don't know any brown people and you don't care about brown people.
Yeah.
You're just like, all right, the brown people are speaking up now, so I guess
Let me get some
we'll
money.
give
I'll
them
have
their
to do
part
it, you
and
know?
we'll
Yeah.
pretend to talk about
Dude,
their
it's true because
issue.
well, he was like from the 80s, he's already like one of the best.
Yeah.
So he could have done it.
He could have done it.
He
Like,
could've
where
done
were
it.
you? You know.
Yeah.
So to me, it doesn't count when you do it when it's easy. You know, where were you a long time ago? You know, and that kind of pissed me off. So like watching it, it's like, look, like I said, this has always been a white story made by white people, and that's fine. You know. So if you want to make your little movie, you know, about Puerto Ricans and white people, just make it and shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
You know, we don't need you fucking schooling us. It's like, oh, look at us. We're like social justice warriors. Like, no, you're not. You know?
Yeah.
And it's like, it's almost worse in a way. I don't know. It's kind of weird because like you're here like trying to say like, oh, like, I don't know. It just kind of rubbed me the wrong way.
I feel like
So you're telling me, like overall, did that fuck up the movie for you?
It's not that it fucked up the movie. It's just I don't like it when they try to pander.
yeah,
You know,
they're pretending to care.
It's performing.
Okay.
You know, it's not genuine. You know, and that to me is worse. You know, it's, and when you add stuff like
It's a little
that,
insulting.
when you add stuff like that, like having scenes of people going like, the people united, and then I was like, it's like, and in the press I read like, he made a big deal. It's like because they didn't subtitle the Spanish, right? They just talk Spanish. Right? And he's like, well, I didn't want to give the power to the English language, you know. And I was like, bro, shut the fuck up,
It's
bro.
white people
up.
watching
It's
your
like,
movie.
yeah.
Shut the
It's like
fuck
I was like,
up,
if you want to give people, if you want to empower the Latinos or whatever, take away their accent, you know. Why can't they just talk like we're all Latinos here?
Yeah.
Like, and I don't have an accent, you know, but they're all like Puerto Rico and get away from her, man, you know. And it's like,
Some
you know?
Scarface in there.
And it's just like
Tony's in there.
And it's just like no, like dude, shut the fuck up, you know? It's like stop trying to like represent us. I mean, we're not Puerto Rican, you know, but like Latinos, you know. It's like just stop trying to pander, you know, because in that way it's even worse.
Yeah.
You know, it's insulting.
I think that kind of leads us into our new movie.
But before that, I want to know who's our. I know a best director for this movie, a Latin director. Steve Spielberg.
No. Because I said this movie, this story has always been a white story. You know,
it was a joke, man. It was supposed to be the scissors reference.
But I mean,
you can stop there now.
I don't know. It's just kind of like, but it's funny. It's funny because I love the movie, and I've always loved West Side Story, right? And seeing it like done by Steven Spielberg is like, damn, that's great. I just don't like when he's trying to like prop himself up like as some
he's a god.
Social justice war. It's like, no, shut the fuck up.
Like Munich.
I love Munich. I don't know. That just kind of rubbed me the wrong way. That's why I said I was like, I'm gonna review it as a film, and I'm gonna talk about the shit that pissed me off. You know, it's just like,
but you're still in.
I'm still in. And if I would like, if somebody had never seen West Side Story, doesn't know anything, I would point them to this one.
Oh, cool.
You know, because there's no brown facing. The accents aren't as bad as the original. You know, they tone them down a little bit here. And it's just shot so well. It's just hard to love. I would recommend, actually, you guys to go watch it, you know? Setting all that stuff aside, you know? I would recommend. Yeah.
That sounds cool.
Yeah, sorry, I went on a little rant there.
No,
but it was in my head. Like, I was like,
it
kind of pisses me off.
Now I kind of want to watch it just so I can see his point of view.
I don't want to see that point of view. I want to see the other point of view.
But just go watch it as a movie.
Yeah,
you know, it's fine. It's fun, you know? But I guess that does lead us into our new movie.
Tonight. Oh, sorry. I just wanted to sing that part. Moving on to the new movie.
The new movie.
Robert, what did we watch?
All right. So the new movie this week. All right. So the new movie this week is called Being the Ricardos. And it's written and directed by Aaron Sorkin. And it stars Nicole Kidman as Lucille Ball and Javier Bardem as Desi Arnaz.
That's right.
And it's about like a week of production in the I Love Lucy show. And it's like a lot of crazy shit going on, you know? That's about it. America, you got some explaining to do. I was trying to find it.
That's
I couldn't
hilarious.
find it.
I'm going to give this movie an out. I'm a huge I Love Lucy fan. Huge fan. I know the Lucy story. I just think that the way this was done, and I think the concept was cool. You know, you have the writers there, you have the producer kind of talking about what happened, and you have Nicole Kidman and what's his face, Javier Bardem, like playing Lucy at points. You go between black and white, you go from the past to the present, and it's just so convoluted. I don't know if you don't know the Lucy story. I don't know if you get it from this movie. It was like, okay, you know? And I don't think the performances were great. So, yeah, I'm just going to be an out. Ricardo, what do you think?
I exactly what she was saying. Yeah, like I was like, you kind of, you know how they go from the past to the front. Like I kept getting a little, like you're into this story and then you go back to the other one, and then you know how they have the whole documentaries like look to it. Cool concept, you know. I was like, oh, that's cool. It's gonna be cool. But then like it happens and you kind of, you know. But with that being said, I think a person like, you know, like, well, I don't know if you guys are into Lucy like she is, but she like knows all this fucking background to it or whatever, right? And I feel like a person that likes Lucy or whatever would enjoy this, you know, would enjoy. I know it's not going to be the best movie of all time, but they would enjoy their time.
Wait, she said that she loved Lucy.
Yeah, but I'm
no
saying,
pun intended.
Yeah.
And she knows the backstory.
Yes, and you didn't hate your time, right?
I didn't.
Yeah, so that's why I'm saying that I would recommend it to them still and be like, just take it a watch. You're not gonna hate it and you're not gonna love it, but you're still gonna be like, whatever, you know? Because it's kind of funny, you know, like little things that they added in there, like the whole relationship between the co-star, what is it called?
Fred and Ethel.
Yeah, you know, like little things like that, and you kind of know stuff, and then they show little clips of the funniness. Cool. So, I was stuck. I was like either out
or delete.
No, but I think personally I like bios. It's like a thing for me. So I am low out, low in. Yeah, sorry guys, I'm sorry.
What to be sorry about? It's your opinion, man.
Yeah,
It's all
I know.
good.
You don't have to be sorry.
I thought
I don't feel bad at
this
all.
guy hates it, and I'm like, oh shit, like I'm sorry, but yes.
It's all good.
All right.
So what do you think, Gino?
I am an out.
Sorry, I had that and I completely forgot. So I didn't do it for
I applaud for that. Thank you. I wanted to delete it, but there were some things I liked, and there's some things that overpowered that I didn't like, and Nicole Kidman did a great job as Lucille, in my opinion. Not a great job. Let's say a good job for what it is. Javier Bardem, man, he may not look like him, but I still feel like the energy and the character of Desi Arnaz in a way. I didn't like the documentary style because I personally feel those are a waste of time. I'd rather just see it as is and then just mix it with the flashbacks because it was very distracting in my opinion.
Yeah.
That's what I said. Yeah.
Yeah, like, okay, that's just yeah. Okay, sorry, I zoned out then. I'm just kidding.
No.
I'm kidding. I wanted to word it differently, and yeah, because like I'll be so into the story, and all of a sudden like it's the present time, I guess, and I'm like, what the fuck? What's going on here? I don't know what Lucy said that day, but I don't care what you fucking thought. I just want to see what happens.
Yeah.
Fuck your old ass. Go fuck yourself. I don't care. With this lady in her billion ass pool and this old guy in his bar, I guess, and I guess the producer who's still producing. Oh, fuck him. I don't care about him.
Yeah.
I care about him back then because hell, Lucille and Desi fucking make him look stupid most of the time. I love that. But I remember the Ethel and Fred always hated each other, and I like that the dynamic of that they kept that in the movie. But towards the end, they kind of went like friendly, and I was like, no, I'm pretty sure they still hate each other if that happened. Because I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly, and I think America can correct me on this, that when the girl who played Ethel found out that the actor that played Fred died, she told everybody, "Drinks on me."
Really?
Did
Yeah.
she?
Yeah.
Oh shit, I don't know about that, but they hated each other.
Yeah, they
so
hated each other so
I
much.
would
Oh, the
believe
actors
it.
hated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
That's why that
That's
dynamic
why-
with
yeah.
them in the movie is exactly. I was like, oh, that's real. That really happened.
Yeah.
Like, because she was way younger than him, but
Yeah.
she played his wife.
But I guess we'll talk about it. Yeah.
It was interesting to know that more of the production times at the time, like the whole pregnancy can be on the air on this time, or you guys slept us different beds. How would people think of you guys got pregnant or whatever? I like seeing these things because I never knew about that. A lot of film teachers don't talk about that anymore because everything's artistic and whatever. It was interesting to see this. And what Lucille went through getting called a commie, especially at the time where communism was a big fucking no-no. Like, once you found out you're a commie, you're blacklisted for the rest of your life. So it was interesting to see that. But then I feel like it could tighten it a bit more. 2 hours is a bit too long, in my opinion.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things to cut out, but whatever. Not my life story. If it was my life story, it would have been a 10-minute short film.
Hi, I'm Gino.
And then, good night. Go, Robert, and this beginning part of the talk.
Yeah, I'm pretty much in the same boat as with you guys, except Ricardo. I think this movie was a huge misfire. I'm out. I'm out. Yeah. Yeah, I think the biggest thing for me is the structure of the script. How it's basically following a week of production.
Yeah.
Yet you're trying to force in all these
The
flashbacks and
entire,
like you
like,
mentioned
yeah.
the documentaries. Like, well, why not just do it like just tell the story? Why? Because Aaron Sorkin did it, right? He has this very like snappy scenes and snappy dialogue, and in a way that kind of gets in the way. It's like it's like he's trying to force his style onto the story.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't quite work, It's not that his writing's bad, his dialogue is always good or whatever. It's just the way he structured it, I think, didn't work because it was
Exactly.
Yeah.
it's just very boring at times. They start out saying like, "Oh my God, this week was fucked up. It's crazy," but then you don't really feel that it's like
Yeah.
that,
No.
Exactly.
Like they mentioned, like you mentioned like that's like she got called a communist, right? I know why that's a big deal, but the movie doesn't really tell us.
It's
Yeah,
weird,
it's
right?
saying like this is such a crazy week. I was like, I don't see it. I don't see it in the movie. Let me feel it in the movie.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So I think that is a big. That's what bugged me the most. But I think what bugged me the most is the casting. I think the casting was absolutely awful in this movie. And I'm not just talking about fucking Aaron Sorkin casting a Spanish guy to play a Cuban, because obviously everybody made a big deal and he kind of doubled down on it, And I watched a lot of I Love Lucy, Desi Arnaz is very like distinct,
Handsome.
Yeah.
Javier Bardem is a great actor, but he just didn't capture that his I didn't feel like I was watching him. I felt like I was watching
him, like the actor.
An actor, and I was actually gonna say one of the worst things about this movie is that it felt staged.
Yes.
Kind of like no pun intended, because they're literally staging the show, right? But it didn't feel natural. It felt like you're watching a high school performance,
Yeah.
The actors are so miscast, like Javier Bardem already said, and Nicole Kidman. I think she does fine in the dramatic parts, because she's a dramatic actress, But her being Lucille Ball was a comedian, and she was a brilliant one, And to me, when they cut away to like the actual parts? Show funny parts, it was so fucking
so flat.
cringy.
So
I was like, what are you doing? I was like,
especially. We're leaving the fucking. We're doing documentary. We're doing past and present. We're breaking everything, all the conventions here, right? Show us a fucking clip from the show.
Yeah, right.
You already have us like confused.
What made it worse is that the character that they wrote Lucille as was so one note.
Yes.
It was like every scene is like the writers are like coming up with an idea, and then they cut to her like thinking like, well, no. That doesn't work. Let's do it another way. Yeah. Blah, blah, blah. Right? I'm so smart. Right? And it's almost like a parody. Like, we've seen it done in parody. Have you seen Walk Hard?
Yeah.
When they go like, oh, you got to walk hard. And he's like, oh, my God. It's like it's literally been done in a parody what they're doing. And it's just so cringy. And it wouldn't be so bad if Nicole Kidman had comic timing. Because they portray her as this brilliant comedian, right? It's like, I'm going to fix everything. Right. And then they cut away to the actual... Not the actual, but them recreating it, and it's not funny. Nice. And here's the thing about Aaron Sorkin. He went like on a big hoopla when people gave him shit for casting Javier Bardem, right? A Spanish actor playing a Cuban, right? And his whole thing was like, well, you can't act Cuban, right? Well, you know what else you can't do? You can't act funny. You have to be funny. And to me, that's very disrespectful to comedians. Because you either have it or you don't. And Nicole Kidman doesn't. I'm pretty sure Javier Bardem doesn't either. But they didn't make him like recreate the scenes. Yeah. And they were so cringy. And it was so bad that completely took me out of everything. And it was so off. And I just couldn't buy the other side of her. Yeah. Which she defined in. But you can't sell me this brilliant person. And just have her. She tried cracking jokes. And she doesn't have an ounce of comic timing in her. She doesn't have anything.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say too. That like... not just that part, but like through the whole movie. Yeah. Like I guess they have jokes in the movie,
and they're not funny, and they're not funny. Nobody laughed. Yeah, nobody laughed.
And I remember I was just like, oh, I think they're supposed to be funny. Yeah, but they're not funny.
I laughed.
Not just the humor was off. Nobody was charismatic.
No.
Ricky was supposed to be the biggest womanizer ever because he's so fucking charismatic. And you see him in the scenes with, the other actresses when he's still doing movies. Nothing. They're like, hey, I love you. And he's like, acting. Cool, gotta go. Yeah. Like, no, this man was gonna win you over. Yep. That's why Lucy fell for him. And in this movie too, like Lucy comes to Ricky and she's like, yeah, I fucking love you. Look at my tits, you know? And he's like, oh, for real? Like, you have a tit out? I didn't even notice. Yeah. Oh, like, no, dude. And like, even the writers tell you, right? When we break the fucking movie and we go to the documentary thing, they're like, yeah, if they weren't like strangling each other, they were like on top of each other. And it's like, where?
Where? They don't. They right?
Except for the opening scene, and it's also so stiff that it's just like, what's happening? Are we practicing for our WWE like tryouts?
Their romance is as stiff as Nicole Kidman's upper lip. She can't. I'm sorry, like no disrespect, but she can't emote. And when you're a comedian, and the thing is that they actually say in the movie. Play-Doh. Because they show her pass in a radio play, right?
Yeah.
And they go up to her and say, you show a lot of you do a lot of expressions, right?
Bitch, where?
And it's like, well, we didn't see that. You're telling us, but in nowhere in the film did we see her being funny.
Yes.
She's kind of trying.
True. Yeah, it's true.
But you can't. It's either and again, it's something being having comic timing. It's something that you either have or don't, right? Yeah. And you're making a drama, that's fine. But you're making a drama about a comedian, right? So there's supposed to be tragedy there, you know? We have to feel what she went through. We have to see both sides, right? Mm-hmm. And I think one movie like we could kind of call back to is like The Man on the Moon, right? Where Jim Carrey's playing, what's his face?
Andy Kaufman.
Andy Kaufman. Jim Carrey's an actual funny person, you know, so he could embody both sides, right?
Right.
And to me, this movie doesn't have both sides, so I can't buy into the reality that you're selling.
Yeah,
you know,
that makes perfect sense.
It's so horrible. It was, my eyes wanted to bleed when she tried to be funny.
Yeah, you should be deleting this.
Hey, why am I out? Okay, that's a good question.
Yes.
The whole movie's kind of boring. It's kind of flat, you know. Like they said, they try to sell you that it's like a tumultuous week in production, but you never really feel like I said, I know that being called a communist is like a kiss of death, you know, and it was really like bad back then. But the movie doesn't really tell you until the end, right?
Yeah.
There's actual stakes at the end, right?
Yeah.
At the end, when Lucy, spoiler alert, she finds out that Desi is cheating on her, you know, you actually do feel something, right?
Yeah.
And to me, I was like, well, that should have been the whole movie.
Yeah.
Because this should be a fucking tragedy. You're literally seeing the most successful show like on earth, you know, the funniest show, and you should see the cost that it takes, the toll that it takes on them, you know. You have to see that, and we never saw that, you know.
Yeah, I super agree with that you need to see a tragedy, especially because this is a movie about a very successful woman who lost.
Mm-hmm.
She was very successful. She won everything she wanted, right? But ultimately, like, she wanted that home life with Desi,
which they don't tell you until the end.
They don't. And it's just, she gets cheated on, she gets called a communist, she gets called a bitch, and that's something that like people probably know, right? Like, she was like very hard to work with, but you see her do all of these things, break these barriers, even for her husband, especially for her husband, who's the one who gets credit for, you know, the studio and all of this and that. But we do see her as a dumb girl. Like how she's talking to the writer, and she's like, no, well, I'm trying to make you smarter. And it's like, that's what the fucking movie is doing to her. Like, we don't see
the movie
really her winning. We just see everybody, her getting pushed around.
Yeah, and it's like weird.
The problem is that it's a movie about, literally, to me, in my eyes, the most important show in television history, right? Let's just say it created the modern sitcom. The system is still being used today, you know, and the movie just doesn't live up to that, you know.
Yeah, it's true.
It failed, you know.
Yeah.
But that's what I was saying, that like I'm like biased because I still like the Ashton Kutcher movie with fucking
Steve Jobs.
Like I like movies like that. For some reason, even though it sucks, I know it sucks. Like, I see it. But it's just like
Here's the thing. I do too, right?
Yeah.
Especially a movie about show business, because we all kind of want to be in that world, right?
Yeah.
Those movies to me are fascinating, but it doesn't, to what it kind of tries to set up. It doesn't live up to what the movie itself tries to set up.
Yeah,
it doesn't even make you feel good when they have the triumphs.
Yeah,
and then there's like a scene where like the show's gonna start, right? And like you're following Desi around, right? And I was telling her, I was like, make this shit one shot. They fucking cut and they go to this.
Yeah, but I mean, that's not the
No. I'm not. I know, but I'm saying that little things like that, it affects it. You know, like it didn't work.
It does, because there's a scene where Lucy, she gets like a big part in the movie, right? It's a big deal for her, and Desi kind of like shoots it down, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's supposed to be a huge dramatic scene.
Yeah.
And if you remember back to the scene, they're outside, and each shot of them looks like a green screen.
Why?
And
Why?
it's like,
why?
A director needs to stage that in a way that makes us feel something.
Something,
You know?
right?
So
Yeah.
in that sense, yeah. But like going back to like Javier Bardem, and I said like it feels staged. It felt like he was trying to put on some accent that wasn't even near what Desi Arnaz was.
Oh,
You know?
no.
It's
No.
like he was Cuban.
I'm Cuban, B. Yes, Cuban
You
B.
know, it's like, you know, all joking aside, it didn't. I never bought him as him. You know,
Yeah.
it's like
It was weird to hear him say coño in the beginning of the movie. Like, "Ah, coño." I was like, what the fuck is he
it's just
saying?
like the whole thing was miscast.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One thing I did like though, like main thing that I like is they sang that the Mass song, right?
Cuban Pete.
Jim Carrey was more convincing in The Mask than he was in this fucking movie. That's how bad. Because I did think about that. Like, I buy Jim Carrey more as Desi Arnaz than this motherfucker. You know, trying to do it.
Yeah.
But that's why I'm a low in, cause like
I say an out, bro. I don't want to give it an
Because
in.
I'm still
And I'm struggling, you know,
Honestly,
being an out.
Yeah.
I was
know.
gonna say the
It
same
makes
thing because
sense.
we were
Yeah.
just talking shit, and honestly, like this was not the way to fucking do it.
But I'm
I'm
t-
still
yeah.
staying out because I fucking love this. Like
Uh-huh,
even if
see,
I already know
that's
exactly
what I'm talking
what
about.
happened, and I know it in a better way than this movie even told it to me.
I was gonna say like I just wish they put this on Amazon Prime, not fucking.
Well, they
theaters.
are.
I think it is right.
Oh well, like
It's like a limited run in theaters, but it's gonna be an Amazon movie.
oh,
Yeah, we just caught it early, essentially.
Yeah.
take it back.
But
No, but that's good because, you know, I was never gonna watch it unless.
again, you asked me why am I an out, not delete. I think, like I said, the ending where I actually felt something, and I was like, I wish that would have been the whole movie. You know, it kind of saved it, but you said something that kind of makes me think. No, it kind of didn't. Is you mentioned that the actors playing
Fred and Ethel.
Fred and Ethel hated each other, right? And you do get a lot of that in there. But at the end, it's such a like wholesome scene between everybody. Like, we love each other.
That's
Let's
some
go make
Biggie
the
shit,
best
right?
show. And it's like
Yeah.
that to me. I didn't know that, and that to me contradicts that. You know.
That's fake. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's like.
So then that makes the ending
Whack.
bad now to
Yeah,
me. You know.
yeah.
That's the part that makes like that shit sucks because I don't know if you guys ever saw the Notorious with B.I.G.
Yeah, of course.
You saw it?
I will be big. I will be
Oh
big
my
puff.
God. Okay, so in the end of the movie, the before he fucking dies, he calls everybody, and he's like, "Oh, I love you." And he's like, "Yeah, we're gonna
yeah.
make some." It's stupid. That's
Yeah.
not. That's not true.
Yeah.
That's not true. And that's what they did in this one to make
Yeah.
them like to make everybody happy or some dumb shit. It's dumb. Yeah.
I want to be big.
Delete because of that. Go
You know what? I don't know.
Is Aaron Sorkin like the biggest I Love Lucy fan or something? Because like maybe he's trying to bust a Tarantino. And
I
be
think
like,
he's a
"It was-
poser."
we loved it. It was great, and everything turned out fine. When
I
it
think-
didn't really.
No, that's
Gino,
what they
I
do.
think Gino's right. He might be a poser
I think he's a poser.
because nothing felt genuine to me.
No, it
Yeah.
didn't.
And again, I think he's getting in the way
That's like you made it.
of stuff. I don't know.
Considering what I've made, I'll take that as a
I guess
compliment.
okay. The reason why I'm out of the leap is that I never felt like I wanted to stop watching it. Like there was always just enough there to kind of keep me going. You know?
They're the whole movie.
You wanted
They're the
to
whole movie.
look at what's her face's Play-Doh face. You're
Who?
just like, yeah, that's Lucy. What the fuck is
Oh,
her name?
yeah.
Nicole Kidman.
Nicole
Nicole
Kidman,
Kidman, yeah.
Dude, fucking Lucy
she
has
not
big
look-
ass eyes, and she doesn't. She
You
has,
know
like,
what?
this-
No,
too.
it's just all just.
You know, I do
bad.
kind of have a connection to I Love Lucy, the show, career wise.
Oh,
You work at CBS.
They omit it from the film.
CBS.
But the cinematographer of I Love Lucy, his name was Carl Frund. And they mentioned in the movie how it's like they created the 3-camera
Star Trek.
system, right? For sitcoms, right? And they shot on film.
Mm.
The person who created that was Carl Frund, right? Famous cinematographer. He did a bunch of movies and he's most famous for I Love Lucy, right? Like I said, still being used today. Carl Frund, I think he's German. He founded the company called Photo Research Inc. I worked for
them?
photo research for 8 years.
You have another connection to this movie.
Yeah.
Lucille Ball is the reason that Star Trek exists,
Yeah, I know,
and that's
they
the
produced
reason
that
you
show.
exist.
Yeah. So I worked for the company and
that's
he
fun.
directed a lot of episodes too, but I guess he didn't direct that one. It's kind of disappointing that they didn't mention him.
Damn,
Yeah.
the world is so
small. He won an Academy Award, and we had it at the company.
Oh
What?
shit!
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah, I always thought it was funny. Like I
what?
didn't go to that company because it was founded by a cinematographer. I just kind of dumb luck got hired there, you know. But it was funny that it had that connection.
That's awesome.
That is
Yeah.
funny. I'd be like, oh my god, I work there.
Yeah.
And Chatsworth. They lived in Chatsworth.
Oh, they did.
I was like, Chatsworth.
What the fuck?
Photo research before I moved to New York was in Chatsworth. I used to work there.
Oh.
Beep, 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 beep.
Oh, damn, Robert.
And then they were like, "Hey, who are these people?" You know, like Lucy is like, "Oh, who are these people?" And like, they were from CBS, straight up.
Yeah,
Oh.
and I work for CBS.
I work for CBS.
Yeah, so many connections. To be fair, there was only 3 channels back then. So.
Don't
I have
matter.
one more thing to say about this movie.
What?
It's time to take out the trash.
That's so funny. I love that soundbite, man.
Me too. It's my favorite thing ever.
So, moving on to the next part of the segment.
What are you fucking Gio?
Yes.
Where's your energy at?
That's the whole point. It's America's Pig. America, what did we watch?
So we're onto a new theme, which is AFI's 100 best movies of all time.
Oh, yes.
And so we're all picking a movie that we have not seen from
Right.
that list.
Well, and it's cool
And-
because Oscar season is like the good movies are coming out now.
Ooh, yeah.
yeah.
So I guess we're looking at, good movies of the past. I had never seen a Marilyn Monroe movie. I'd
Any
always
Marilyn Monroe.
none at all.
None.
Me
And
neither.
I always wanted to pick this one for the podcast, but I saw the runtime and I was like, oh. So I never picked it, But this time I was like, we're looking at really old movies. They're all going to be like 2+
This is your
hours.
chance.
This
Well,
is my fucking chance.
Out of the whole 100 list, how many did you watch?
Like
already?
32. Yeah.
That's a lot.
Really
That's a
low.
lot.
No, it's not. That's
That's a
30%.
You ask
That's-
anyone else, like a random person.
We're not
they're
in
gonna be like
LAUSD. That's
6.
a low.
We're not randos,
Okay.
bro. We literally have a podcast about movies.
And even then, this is surprisingly low.
Agreed.
So anyway, never watched a Marilyn Monroe movie, and I didn't want to make you guys watch it, but I was like, this is it. This is the time. And so I picked this one, and surprisingly, I'm an in. I expected this to be. I feel like Robert's gonna kill me, but I like this. I was surprised. I really thought this was gonna be like disgustingly cheesy. Like, I don't know, and it was. Look, it wasn't.
Quick question. Did
Yeah.
you know the premise before you picked it?
No, I had no
Okay,
idea what the
okay.
premise was.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So the movie. Sorry, I forgot
Yeah.
to mention what the movie's about. So 2 dudes playing a band, Joe and Gerald, probably. I don't know. I'm gonna assume I forgot their names. But when they turn into girls,
Tom
they're
and Jerry,
Daphne.
you should call them that.
Sure, whatever. A bass player and a saxophone player are out of a job basically because it's prohibition. There's nowhere to play, no gigs, right? They get in trouble with the mafia and they have to run away, and so they cross-dress as women. Obviously, I guess that's what cross-dressing is. So they join a band. There's nowhere to work. They need money, and they need to get away from the mafia. So they join an all-women's band and end up falling in love with Marilyn Monroe's character.
That's it. No, like that's the stop. That's
Oh,
what
I
the
guess,
movie's
yeah.
about.
Yeah.
The
That's what she
other
said.
parts is the
Yeah.
others. The others.
Yeah, I guess that I just spoiled like the 60-year-old movie and shit. But
Yeah.
anyway, yeah, that's what happens in the movie. And I really liked it. I was surprised by it because I thought I was going to not have a fun time. And I did. So I'm in. Ding.
I already did it.
Oh, oops. Gino, what'd you think? I'm scared of you, Robert.
Why are you
Why?
scared of him?
I don't know. I feel like you're going to come back at me for trashing once. So, Gino.
That sound made me cringe so much because I don't know if that's really Lucille Ball doing. Wah.
That is her. That really
Wow,
is her.
sounds
yeah.
very like a man, like wah. Because of all the cigarettes, that's why.
Dude, I was about to ask. I was like, what is that? Like, where's that from?
What, you really?
Didn't know. I thought it was like a fake, like, I thought it was...
Like, it was like a monster or something?
Yeah, like, no, I thought it was like something else.
Random
But
soundbite.
not... Dude, that's
See?
her?
Yeah.
Wow.
That's
might
her.
be in
Have you
now.
ever seen Lucy? I love Lucy.
We already moved on.
Anyway.
No, but I love Lucy.
Let Gino go.
I know what Lucy sounds like.
Apparently you don't. Let Gino
That
go.
doesn't sound like
That's
Lucy.
Lucy.
I think it's the old beard talking right now. That's what it sounds like.
It doesn't sound like Lucy.
Oh yeah, so I am an in. This is my second time watching this
Oh,
movie.
you had seen it.
A long time ago, but this is like when it was like on DVD was a thing. So this is like one of the Marilyn Monroe classics on DVD. Like,
Do you remember in your list of 100, what number are you?
oh, like how many have watched? Sadly, 37.
Oh, see, I
You
told
sucked
you.
37 dicks in a row.
Hey, come here.
You know what? Get the ding. Get the ding. That's a good one.
See, I told you. See, it's a good number.
But it's not good for like our podcast.
Yeah, I wouldn't say.
I wouldn't be proud of that. Actually, I'm kind of offended. I am offended. Okay, so Marilyn Monroe, of course, she's not the greatest actress of all time in a way. Like her, I'm wrong. I'm sort of wrong because this movie she did a great job being a dumb ditzy blonde that she's good at. But like, I really like Jack Lemmon. He played Daphne / I forgot his other main guy's name, but like, because you could feel the creepiness of those type of guys in those days, like womanizers. Like, oh my god, there's a girl right there, and it's like crazy how they're so believable that they're women, that these people around them are just like, oh yeah, there's something's off about them, but there are women, and it's just so. I feel like this is one of those movies that came at the right place at the right time type of thing. Because nowadays they try to remake that movie, it's not gonna be possible. Because people are too literal, or they're gonna say they're making fun of trans, and it's like that's not what's happening, man. These guys are scared. They're trying to run away from gangsters. They're trying to kill them.
You're right.
And then the only way they get away is they disguise themselves as women.
Yes, I get it. I know what you're saying. Yeah.
But I find the comedic timing perfect. I laughed so hard most of the scenes. Marilyn Monroe did a great job.
I am a nin. Okay, so, it's crazy because
Wait, had you seen it before?
I have seen it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. This is out of my list, I think this is like probably like 52. Like I made to like the 50s. I couldn't believe
You
it.
watched
Is that your
52?
actual number?
In the thing.
Yeah.
You've seen 52 movies.
Out of the list? Yeah,
Yes,
remember
okay,
I remember I was
okay.
clicking because it was crazy. You could click on it. So yeah. So I clicked
Okay,
it
Grandpa.
and it was like 52. And I was like, shit, that's crazy. Like I thought it was more. But so I've seen it before, right? And I remember the first time I saw it and I thought it was fucking dope, right? And I saw like Joanna, man. I saw fucking
Tootsie.
Tootsie. I saw fucking what is that other movie?
Miss
Sorority
Doubtfire.
Boys.
Yeah, everything. The fucking Miss Doubtfire. Well, a little bit of Miss Doubtfire and Big Mama's House. So I fucking like long ass time ago they did this movie, and I thought that was fucking dope. So now that I'm a little older and I'm like watching it, and I saw how they portrayed fucking Marilyn Monroe, and it's pretty fucked up. She's off through the whole movie.
Yeah.
She's off, and it kind of bothered me that she's like a little like off, and it sucks. But I still got laughs, and I I went with it, and you, like Gino said, like it's a little I know what you're saying that they can be made now, even though it probably can be made now, like but differently. But it's just like Marilyn Monroe is too off in this movie that it.
You say she's dumb in the movie?
Yeah.
Her character's dumb.
Yeah. That's what I meant.
Yeah.
Well, off and dumb is
Yeah,
the
you
same.
were talking about cross-dressing and her offness in the same sentence.
No,
because
the movie could be made still, right?
Yeah.
That's what my examples like Big Mama's House and all those movies. But the fact that the main girl that you're supposed to love, is so off, it kind of bothered me, and it's crazy how like she is, and it's like you kind of dream for a girl like that pretty, and it's like you're down
And
that
that
much. She's
That's
so
a little
down.
scary. Canceled.
I agree.
But
Cancelled.
no, like it bothered me that they made that, and it sucks. But I'm still an A, and I thought it was still funny, and the jokes still worked, and they had that guy. You guys seen Toronto Man?
Yes.
You seen Toronto Man? Okay, you remember Toronto Man? Toronto Man. I still love you, even though you're a man. What's wrong with me? They had that character still. You know, they still do that. And that was fucking. I don't know what year this movie came out in.
1959.
Dude, it's so long ago, man. So my parents weren't even born there. You know?
They were. Your mom was born.
My dad wasn't born, and it's fucking crazy, you know. So I think it's still watchable, and I understand why it's in this list. What do you think, Robert?
I'd never seen this movie before. My number is 49 on the list
Oh.
of movies. Yeah.
See, that's two people who like movies.
I was 51 on one, but then there was like some confusion between lists.
Mm.
And I went down to 49 on the other one.
Dude, I was like in 40 something, and then I saw, because I looked them up. I was with her, and I was looking them up. I was like, oh, I seen these with fucking Charlie Chaplin.
So I'd never seen it.
Charlie Chaplin.
And I knew nothing, literally zero about this movie. So when it started, the whole plot got going, and like they literally reveal the plot that they're gonna dress as women and go join the all women band. I was like, oh my god, because we've seen the movie, that premise literally a billion times. You said they can't remake it. They literally been remaking it for since that white chicks, fucking Joanna Man, sorority boys, every single movie where they dress as women or the other way around, you know. It's been done, and it's exactly the same fucking plot.
Yeah.
So whenever and there's a lot of those movies, right? Whenever I see a movie that kind of like laid the foundation for the formula, I get such a kick out of it, you know?
So
I couldn't help having a good time. So I'm in.
It's crazy. Right?
I thought it was really funny. The two leads, they had great comic timing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think Marilyn Monroe is great.
Yeah.
Her character is written to be kind of like
dumb. But why?
Sure, you know,
up.
I mean,
she was played it good though.
Yeah, that's the thing. You know, you could write a character that's dumb. You know, it's not a bad thing to do.
Yeah.
You know, would it be done now? Probably no. But she played it well, and she's like, you always hear these stories that she was like a notoriously bad actor. Like they always had to like feed her. Like she had to do like several takes to get it right. But honestly, I didn't see it in here. Yeah. Like to me, she was like, she's very. This is my first time seeing a Marilyn Monroe movie with Marilyn Monroe in it. And man, she's like fucking radiant, you know. It's like just looking at her, you know, you can see why. Yeah,
super.
You know,
hot.
Right? But there's plenty of women that are like hot, you know. But there was just something about her, you know, something that like Nicole Kidman can't do, you know. You know what I'm saying? You know?
I don't know if you have a fight for that.
It's just something, you know. There's a quality, there's an intangible quality that she had. Yeah, you know,
for sure.
She was a star, you know. She's not just because she was good looking. It's just something that she had, you know. So seeing that was great. The movie was really funny. I do feel like the runtime was a little too long. The movie kind of went on autopilot there for a long time. So by the end of it, I was kind of over it, you know, because I'd seen it before, right? Not this movie, but it's been copied so many times. Different versions. Yeah, sure. So like, you know, there's always the other guy who falls in love with one of the quote unquote girls and doesn't care that they're ugly. It's in every single movie. There's always a guy. One of the guys is cross dressing. He gets out of the clothes and he tries to win over the girl. Every single one. He forgets something. Every single one. It's literally every single scene. And I thought it was so brilliant until I pulled the Geo and I looked it up. Did you know this is a remake of a French film?
No!
From 1939. No! Yes. With the same premise. I was like, what? So that kind of took it down a little notch, you know?
Yeah. That makes sense, right? Yeah. Considering it's made in like almost 1960 and we're talking about Prohibition. Like they're in a swing band.
Just like, dude, you suck me out.
Yeah.
The main reason I love this movie
because it's so original, right?
Yeah. Oh my god, What was it called? You don't remember?
I gotta hold on.
Dude, Geo.
Put it in Geo mode.
I'm looking it up right now.
Dude, that's insane.
I mean, it's very believable, right?
Fanfare of
a
1935 film called Fanfare
Fanfare
of Love.
d'Amour.
Oh,
Yeah, it's a French film
Fucked up.
with that same plot, and they just took it.
Damn.
Wah, wah.
Damn.
At least, you know what? We didn't end up with like a horrible adaptation. You know what I mean? So.
Sure. I mean, to be fair, I think the movie at the end of the day works.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And they nailed down the formula so well that's why it's been copied over and over and over. And I'm sure the next iteration, this kind of goes to what Gina was saying, it's gonna be some form of that, but they're gonna swap the genders, or it's gonna be some.
Well, they already have
some
that,
different
right?
thing
with the man.
Sure,
with
but they're
Amanda
gonna.
Bynes.
It's gonna be.
yeah.
They're gonna remake this movie, yes, but it's gonna be a different angle.
Yeah.
Something they're gonna change. They're gonna find something to kind of change it. But
Yeah.
but that's the thing, is that the formula works. It's a very funny movie.
Yes.
Yeah.
The two leads are very funny, and I think the counterpart, because look, to be fair to the movie, they don't look like women. Like that's the main problem with these types of movies, right? Is that they're so very clearly men. Like their shoulders are very like their knees. Like you would say, like you would think, like that's not a woman, that's a man.
I think.
So you kind of have to make, and it's kind of unfair, but you have to make the characters really stupid for them not to see that.
Yeah.
You know?
But
I think that's part of the movie, though. I don't think you're supposed to believe that they're women.
like a cartoon,
No,
right? Like
No,
when Bugs
but you're
Bunny-
supposed to believe
Dressed like
that
a
the
girl.
other
That the other
characters
people believe,
don't
yeah.
see it.
That's why.
Yeah.
And it's funny because as soon as the movie, I remember the movie, you know, like because I remember the first time I saw it, and I was like, oh, this is where it started, you know. I didn't know the
Really quick, because there are movies, because this movie's been remade, not literally, but it's been redone, rehashed, right? Where the characters aren't stupid, yet they believe that they're the men are women, right?
Yeah.
And you as an audience member don't buy it for a second. Like, remember White Chicks?
Yeah.
This movie
Dude.
again, right?
Dude.
The characters in that movie see Marlon Wayans and what's the other one, right?
Sean Wayne.
Sean Wayans, and they just kind of like, okay, that's them. But you know that they don't believe that, right?
Yeah.
So in a way, it's kind of unfair, but making the character like really dumb, like kind of ditzy, you know,
Yeah.
would make you buy it a little bit
Yeah.
more, because you do really have to be stupid to not see that, you know?
it's
Because the
true.
band leader she sees it, right?
Yeah.
The lady's like,
Oh,
something
yeah,
off
yeah.
about there, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But like I was saying, like that when I saw it, right, and I was like, oh, this is where it started.
This is the OG,
Yeah,
you know?
and I was like fucking mind blown. And like you said, Marilyn Monroe is too good.
Yeah,
And I didn't know that. That was the first time I seen her there, like in acting.
yeah.
So I was like, oh, she could sing. Cause remember she sings
Yeah.
and everything. And I was like, wow, she could do everything. Like I didn't know this.
I mean, that's why she was who she was.
Yeah,
You know?
and then like, well, seeing it now, I'm thinking like, oh, she's a little off and kind of fucked up that she played that character, right? And she's stupid or something, and she says that she's stupid, which is cute and everything, right? But it's kind of like, what?
Cancelled.
No, it is. It's like
Okay.
that's what they were trying to do,
Yeah.
you know. And I remember I was telling her because as soon as the movie started, I was like, shit. We got white chicks because of this shit.
Yeah.
I was telling you.
I totally
Yeah.
did.
And then you were like, she was like, oh, did you just spoil the movie for me? And I was like, no, I thought you knew what the fucking movie's about.
It's so
You didn't
funny.
know.
It's so funny because it's such a fun experience having never seen the movie, but
Yeah.
you know the beats that are
Yeah.
coming. You know,
Yeah.
Even
such
me
a-
saying,
yeah.
like, did you just spoil that? You gotta know what's coming,
Yeah.
right?
And I didn't know.
Yeah. But
Like
yeah.
I didn't know it at all. And it's cool because it starts off explaining the cost of the world. or something.
Prohibition?
Yeah,
Mhm.
so it's pretty cool.
I mean, it's a good
Yeah.
script.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's like this could kind of give you a clue into what my mind is like. You know, I just kind of rewatched White Chicks like a couple months ago,
No way.
and I still fucking laugh out loud,
I hate
even
that
though it's
movie.
so bad.
hate
Dude, I love that movie. I think
I
it's
laugh.
hilarious.
I literally laugh out loud
Yeah.
in that
Literally
fucking movie.
haven't
It
seen
makes
it.
me laugh so hard.
I haven't seen that movie since it came out, dude.
Dude, it's watch it again.
No, I'm
We
not
should
gonna
watch
watch
it
it
after.
again. I'm not gonna
It's
watch
the
it.
funniest
Let's do
fucking
it.
thing you've ever
I'm
seen,
never gonna
and it
watch
all
it
comes from
again.
it. Like it's literally the same fucking jokes, dude. It's so funny.
I remember because she loves that movie, and I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
I'm never gonna watch that movie again.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's like the slasher movie, like Halloween. After Halloween came out, everything is that,
Yeah,
right?
that's
so
why I
it's
love
so
that.
cool, right?
Yeah.
It's like when I first saw Seven Samurai. That is like the template for every action movie. You know,
Dude,
it's so cool. You know,
when they open the door for other shit, like it makes you feel like
yeah, and it also kind of like the other way. It makes me feel like, yeah, I think of myself as like a film person, you know, but I'm really not, you know.
You uncultured swine.
That's really what I am, you know, because I didn't know where these things. Like I didn't really. I took film classes, but I didn't really go to full-on film school, you know.
dude, and the whole time
I didn't.
when
I
you
know
told
less
me
than
right,
you.
the time right now you told me that the French did it before.
Yeah.
That's how I felt right
And
now.
I'm sure
Yeah.
somebody else did it before
And
that.
maybe it comes before that, you know.
Yeah.
Shit,
So
that's
I mean,
insane.
it's funny. I was reading about it, and it was so controversial at the time. In Kansas, they banned it because cross-dressing was too much.
Jesus
You know,
Dude.
and you look at like that's like a fucking. It's like I'm sure it's an episode of Seventh Heaven now. You know where they do that shit. You know.
Dude, and it's crazy because in class, I remember we watched. That's how I watched it. I saw it in class, and I remember the teacher said that ending, how it ended, is so controversial at the time. Because remember, he agrees, like he doesn't care that he's a guy.
Yeah, he says I'm a boy. He says, well, nobody's perfect.
No,
Yeah.
it's perfect. Yeah,
Yeah.
That's supposedly that was so like, oh my
Oh,
god.
people's heads must have exploded.
Yeah,
You know.
so-
Yes, all in sweeps, baby.
Strong contender right out of the gate.
I know she came in the swinging and the running and the beating and the. You need to leave.
Next week.
Oh my God. Let's talk about this, guys. Tune in next week. The new movie, the long anticipated movie, the Spider-Man No Way Home.
Can't wait.
I can't wait either.
I think America
I can.
can wait.
Yeah.
No, that's the thing.
No.
She's so, you're
I
not
love
excited.
Spider-Man. Spider-Man is my superhero.
But
He has entered the Marvel,
Marvel that
Cinematic
you hate.
Universe.
Well,
and
you know
I
what?
absolutely
You know what, America?
cannot
I'm
stand
tired of this, Grandpa.
I guess I have to watch this. I have to watch my hero
Yes, sit there with the rest
fucking
of us.
burn with everybody else.
what do you
Yeah.
mean? Our hero might come back in this one.
No,
our
if
boy
he
Toby.
does- No, but that's the thing. That's what
I
she's saying.
don't-
That she doesn't want him to come to
I don't
this
want him
universe.
to meet any other Spider-Mans.
Yeah. and
I
she
even
wants them
like
separate.
Tom Holland. What's his name? The current Spider-Man. I
Yeah,
like
Tom
him,
Holland, yeah.
and I like the animated one that they did. But I just cannot fucking stand when they bring it into the whole world.
I'm tired of this.
That's exactly what this generation of movies is fucking telling me. Every single time there's a new release, it's like, who cares? Nobody
Actual-
likes your opinion.
Actual footage of America watching Spider-Man No Way Home.
It's so true.
And then they continue on the best, choosing one of the best AFI's 100 listers. Robert, what did you pick?
My pick, and it might surprise you that I've never seen this movie, and I literally don't know anything about it, is Casablanca.
Oh my!
What?
Fuck you!
That's cheating.
How is that cheating? I've never seen it.
That's like Gio saying Godfather. That's
Okay, that's his right.
You know, I know that's what I told him too. I
Yeah,
was like,
that's
that
cheating.
totally counts because they're all. If you put these all in the fucking ring to
He
like
just wants your
fight,
belt.
you
No,
know,
no, no,
I
no,
think
no.
they're all equal contenders.
Because if we had all seen Some Like It Hot, we would have reacted the same way to
Yeah,
her. That's
yeah.
literally this list.
Yeah,
It's
okay.
literally the best movies
list
ever made.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
good. The list
You're
is so
in
good.
for
I-
such a good movie.
The only thing I know about it, is that, and the reason why I'm picking it is because not only is it considered one of the best movies ever made, it's considered one of the best screenplays, if not the best screenplay ever made. And
I'm
that's
so excited
I've
for
always
this.
been meaning to watch it, and I'm like, for some reason I just watch fucking white chicks over and over. But I was like, this is the time.
I agree. I'm just upset because that was my pick.
Oh, really?
Because
you've
I've never seen
either.
it.
You guys, I'm so excited for you guys. He asked me this question like yesterday or something.
Yeah.
He's like, Citizen Kane or Casablanca? And that's such a hard
You've
question.
never seen Citizen Kane?
But
No,
no,
I've
no,
seen
no,
them.
no.
Oh, okay.
Which one's better?
Oh,
And
Yeah.
my pick would be Casablanca because I fucking
'cause,
love that
like,
movie.
You've seen Citizen Kane, right?
yeah, I've seen Citizen Kane.
You seen Citizen
Yeah.
Kane? So I always like, you know how people you have to watch it.
Yeah,
whatever,
yeah, yeah.
And you
watch
have
it.
to love it.
But it's a really, really good movie.
Of course, I mean it's on the fucking list, right?
That's
That's the whole point, right? Yeah.
So
wait. So you've seen it, Ricardo?
Yes.
America, you've seen it.
Yes.
Gino, you haven't?
I
okay,
haven't.
so that's cool. Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
That's why I wanted to pick you.
Yeah,
because
yeah,
I haven't
yeah.
seen it.
And
That's too damn bad.
I thought that Citizen Kane, Casablanca, and Godfather were on like
The Universals.
No,
Yeah.
because we literally talked about
That
this.
is
That
insane.
it's dealer's choice, right?
But I thought that
and
you guys
I would
watched it,
if
you know?
I think Gio's gonna pick The Godfather, and
Yeah.
I would say you're fucking cheating, right? Because it's the best movie ever,
yeah.
right?
But you
But
could
that's
say that
literally
about
this
any of
whole
them.
list, you know?
Yeah.
And that's the special thing about it. you know?
Yeah.
So I'm in for a treat, and I really, really
He
hope.
he's
Here's the
stunnering
thing.
everybody,
Here's the
bro.
thing. You know, I have built it up so much. You know, I hadn't built up Some Like It Hot because I honestly didn't really know anything about it. This movie it was like Citizen Kane. You know, it was built up, so I already have it high.
Yeah. Oh,
Is it gonna live up to that?
Oh,
You know,
yeah,
that's the
that's
question.
good. Yeah. I seen it, so
I hope it does, because
I know. It's
But you
cute.
know, I'm obviously.
You uncultured swine.
Please tune in for that next episode. And also follow us on podpage.com/and-not-delete. That's where our social media is, and even our old past episodes. If you want to take a look at them and take a look at them and see what we have going on in there. I don't know. I can't do Joe's voice anymore. I'm out. All right, I'm out. Good night.